Example, female web spinner Embioptera antipylurea Fig. 1 covers her eggs with macerated bark and other substance like silk to protect them from hymenopteran parasites. It constructs silk galleries and remains with her eggs and nymphs. Females of some insect species guard their eggs and nymphs until maturity by defensive behavior. 55. Fig. 1 antipylurea producing a silk covering. Example, female eggplant lace bugs Graphia solana, Fig. 2 rushes at any approaching predator by fanning her wings. Some females facilitate nymphal feeding. Fig. 2. Female eggplant lace bugs Graphia solana fanning her wings. Example, the female plant-feeding bug, Umbonia crassicornis, Fig. 3, remain with the nymphs until they reach adulthood and help them in feed. It cuts slits in the bark with her ovipositor. So 56. That the nymphs can easily feed. In some insects maternal care is in the form of period of internal development. Fig. 3 plant-feeding bug, Umbonia crassicornis. Example, the oviparous German cockroach, Blattella germanica, Fig. 4 carries her egg sac until the nymphs hatch. Blattella vega produces a secretion on which the newly hatched nymphs feed for a short time. Fig. 4 German cockroach, Blattella germanica. Paternal care. 57. Paternal care exclusively by male is quite rare and is limited to about 100 insect species, mostly of the order Hemiptera. Example, the female of the ferocious water bug, Abetus herberti, Fig. 5 glues the eggs on the hemelytra of the male. It stops feeding and spends his time with the eggs until they hatch. It aerates the eggs and also protects them from predators. Males also contributes to offspring fitness in indirect manner. They transfer proteins or protective substances in a spermatophore and these have been shown to be important for the reproductive success of the female. Fig. 5 giant water bug, Abetus herberti carrying egg on her back. Example, the male katydids provide a spermatophore during copulation which may contain 40% of its body mass. Male arctid moth, Eudythesia ornithrix, Fig. 6 transfers pyrrolizidine alkaloids to the female during copulation. This alkaloid is passed on the eggs which become unpalatable to the predators. Fig. 6 male arctid moth, Eudythesia ornithrix. 58. Biparental care. Biparental care is the care of the eggs and young ones by both the parents. It is not very common and is restricted to the beetles, termites and cockroaches in earwigs. It may be elaborate and extensive. Example, male and female woodroach, Cryptocercus punctulatus, Fig. 7, and all termites construct an extensive nest. They guard, protect and facilitate feeding of young ones till they reach adulthood. Woodroaches produces a secretion from their hindgut which contains symbiotic fauna which is necessary for digestion of wood on which the young ones feed. In most of the termites the workers and soldiers do not reproduce and remain as alloparents. Fig. 7, Cryptocercus punctulatus in nest. 4.3 Care for eggs. The eggs of insects are microlecithal and centrolecithal. Most insects just drop their eggs and keep moving, but in some insects parental care starts from the egg stage. Oviparous insects have three main options to increase their reproductive success: investing into egg number, investing into egg mass and egg care. The female makes all efforts to avoid desiccation and predation of her eggs. There are various methods by which female take care of their eggs to enhance the fitness of their offspring. 59. I. Coating the eggs. The female of some species secrete a protective coating on the eggs. For example, the meadow spittlebug, Felinus spumarius, Fig. 8, lays large egg masses and cover them with frothy foam. It keeps the egg and nymphs hydrated and protected from natural enemies. Fig. 8 The spittlebug, Felinus spumarius, lays large egg masses and cover them with frothy foamy egg brooding. The gravid female ferocious water bug, Abetus herberti, approaches the male and repeatedly attempts to oviposit on his back. Prior to oviposition, the female secretes sticky mucus that covers the male's back. Oviposition continues for 12 to 48 hours and the whole hemelytra of the male is covered with egg. The male moves about with the eggs and takes care of them until they hatch. They protect them from the approaching predators. Furthermore, egg brooding may lower the cost of care by allowing the parents to forage while caring for the eggs. In the golden egg bug Philomorpha laciniata, Fig. 9, the eggs might be carried by the male that fertilize the egg or by conspecifics that are not related to the eggs. This example suggests that some cases of apparent egg brooding might have evolved as a form of intraspecific brood parasitism rather than a form of parental care. 60. Fig. 9 Philomorpha laciniata. E. Provisioning of gametes. In most insects the amount of resources allotted to each egg is the primary and ancestral mechanism by which the parents provide care to their offspring against various environmental hazards, such as desiccation, drowning predators and pathogens. This is beneficial to the offspring as it enhances their survival but is costly for the females left with less. Fig. 9 Philomorpha laciniata. E. Provisioning of gametes. In most insects the amount of resources allotted to each egg is the primary and ancestral mechanism by which the parents provide care to their offspring against various environmental hazards, such as desiccation, drowning predators and pathogens. This is beneficial to the offspring as it enhances their survival but is costly for the females left with less resources to invest on other eggs. Examples. The female of seed beetle, Stator limbatus, Fig.10, shows plasticity in the size of its egg depending on the host plant, Circidium floridium and Acacia gregi. Consequently, the female produces larger and few eggs when she oviposits on tougher seeds of C. floridium and smaller and large No. of eggs when she oviposits on softer seeds A. gregi. Fig 10 Stator limbatus, the seed beetle. 61. It has been shown experimentally that variation in egg size has important effects on offspring fitness. When females entrained to lay small-sized egg on softer seeds of A. gregi are forced to oviposits on tougher seeds of C. floridium, the survival of larvae is much lower as compared to larger eggs. IV. Supplying eggs with defensive chemicals. Females of some insects enhance the fitness of their offsprings by supplying the eggs with defensive chemicals or structures which protect them from predators, parasitoids or pathogens. Examples. The female of seven-spotted ladybird, Coccinella septempuncta, Fig 11, supply their eggs with alkaloids that are produced de novo by the adults. The female swallowtail butterfly Iterphaena alcinus supply their eggs with bitter aristolochic acid which they obtain through their diet. They feed on the larva of birthworts, Aristolochia spp. Fig 11 Coccinella septempuncta. The female seed beetle, Mimicestes amicus, Fig 12 protect their viable eggs from parasitic wasp, Euscana semifumipennis by shielding them with additional inviable eggs. These inviable eggs are smaller in size and the wasp larvae developing inside them suffer higher mortality than those developing within viable eggs. 62. Fig.12 Mimicestes amicus showing egg protection. V. Oviposition site selection. V. Oviposition site selection. The females of some insects enhance the fitness of their offsprings by selecting such a site oviposition that ensures protection from a wide range of environmental hazards and that provides an adequate amount of resources after hatching. Example. The female parasitic wasp, Megarphisa atrata, Fig.13, has a long ovipositor which can bore through 14 cm wood to oviposit on the larva of its host Tramex columba, the wood-eating sawfly. Fig 13 Megarphisa atrata, with a long ovipositor. 63. 64. V. Eggs attendance. Eggs attendance is one of the most common type of post-oviposition care in some insects like earwigs, hemipterans and beetles, etc. It occurs when the parents remain with their eggs at a fixed location after oviposition, usually at the oviposition site. Example. In the treehopper, Publia concave, hatching success is twice as high when the female parent attends the eggs after oviposition as compared to when she is removed experimentally. V. Nest building and burrowing. Nest building and burrowing may increase the fitness of the offsprings by concealing the eggs and juveniles from predators and parasitoids and other environmental hazards. They use different materials to build their nests. Examples. The mud dauber wasp, Tripoxylon polytum, Fig.14, use mud to build their nest. The wasp Polistes build their nest from processed plant materials such as paper. Fig. 14 mud dauber wasp, Tripoxylon polytum use mud to build their nest. The female European earwing, Forficula auricularia, Fig. 15, constructs burrows for concealing their eggs and juvenile. The female guards over a brood of nymphs. Fig. 15 Forficula auricularia, female earwig, with egg brood and nymph. V. Viviparity and ovoviviparity. Viviparous females give births to young ones that have hatched within the female, while ovoviviparous females oviposit eggs at an advanced stage of development that hatch during or soon after oviposition. All ovoviviparous females are licitotrophic, i.e., they nourish the developing embryos on the yolk present in egg. The viviparous females exhibit diverse forms of embryonic nourishment. They may be licitotrophic or metrotrophic where the embryo is nourished by sources other than yolk. Example. Diploptera punctate, Fig. 20, the Pacific beetle cockroach is metrotrophic. It nourishes broods of about 10 embryos with a milk-like secretion produced by the uterine lining of the female. Glossina, cc, females, Fig.17, nourishes a single embryo within utero and gives birth to a larva that may weigh more than the female. The larva obtains all nutrients from the females. The other adult body size is determined by the amount of nutrients the larva has obtained from the female during the gestation period. 65. Fig. 17 Glossina, zay fly. 4.4 Brood care. Brood care is an altruistic trait that has evolved to enhance the fitness and survival of the offsprings at the cost of the parents in terms of time and resource expenditure. Uniparental care. Fig. 15 Forficula auricularia. Fig. 17 Glossina, zay fly. 4.4 Brood care. Brood care is an altruistic trait that has evolved to enhance the fitness and survival of the offsprings at the cost of the parents in terms of time and resource expenditure. Uniparental care. The female potter wasp builds small clay nests for their young ones, bring food for them and protect them from predators, repair damage and remove debris from the nest. Male do not play any role in taking care of larvae but do patrol the nests to find the females to mate with them. Biparental larval care. The male and female burying beetle, Microphorus spp. Fig 19 dig beneath the dead body of a vertebrate mouse, and conceal it from other animals like badgers, crows, foxes, etc. and flies which very quickly lay eggs on it. While digging through the carcass the couple spreads antimicrobial chemicals over it to prevent bacterial and fungal growth. It slows down decay and reduces the smell of the corpse. This takes almost 2 days and the corpse is buried almost 60 centimeters underground. The beetles excavate a crypt for the carcass, Fig. 18. The pair then mates and female lays fertilized eggs in the soil around the body after 2 days. The pair waits for the eggs to 66. Hatch and in the meantime continue to spread the antimicrobial covering over the corpse to keep it fresh. When the larvae emerge out they move into a trough in the body excavated by their parents. They call their parents and beg for food. They feed their young ones by regurgitating pieces of corpse in liquid form. This continues for about 2 weeks, during which they continue to spread microbial covering, protect their offspring from predators and feeding their offspring. The larvae dig into the side of the crypt to form small individual chambers in which they overwinter up to next spring and then pupate and finally emerge as adults. The parents unearth themselves and fly their separate ways. The parents do not form monogamous pairs but stay together until their larvae search adulthood. The burying beetles are only distributed in temperate regions. They are not found in tropical regions as these habitats are too warm. The corpse decay very rapidly in tropics and fungi and bacteria also grow very fast and the beetles are not able to find the corpse and bury it in time. Fig. 18. Life cycle of burying beetle. Fig. 18. Life cycle of burying beetle. 67. Fig. 19. Burying beetle Microphorus feeding her nymph. Family group. Cockroaches are occasionally cannibalistic but they exhibit one of the most comprehensive parental cares among insects. The females of some species are viviparous. They keep their offspring under their wings and feed them on a protein and carbohydrate-rich milk diet until they are old enough to be born. Both cockroaches and burying beetles form family group. In cockroaches it is necessary because nymphs need gut protozoa which is essential for digesting wood cellulose as the nymphs feed on wood. They lose their gut protozoa after each molt. It means that the adults have to live with the nymphs till they reach adulthood. 68. Fig. 20 Cockroach Diploptera punctate showing viviparity. Termites are closely related to cockroaches and family groups gradually evolve to become eusocial colony organization. Living close together with millions of siblings allow the termites to be secure and have a constant food supply. It allows development of traits like monogamy, foraging and nest building. The switch from parental care to sibling care is thought to have led to social behavior in ants, wasps and bees. It is thought that brood care has driven the formation of families and social groups in vertebrates. 4.5 Brood parasitism. Brood parasitism, also known as social parasitism, is a breeding strategy in which the female brood parasite frees herself from all parental care by laying its eggs in the nest of another individual, the host, of the same species intraspecific or conspecific brood parasite, or of different species intraspecific brood parasitism. The brood parasite relies on unrelated foster parents for the care of its eggs or hatchlings. It is therefore the exploitation by one individual, the brood parasite, of the parental care of another individual, the host. A brood parasite manipulates the behavior of the host so that the host raises the young ones of the parasite at the expense of its own young ones. There are many different types of cuckoo bees and all of them lay their eggs in the cells of other bees' hive. They are normally known as kleptoparasites and 69. Not brood parasites, because the hatchlings are not directly fed by the adult host. They simply eat the food gathered by their host. A kleptoparasite is an animal that steals food and prey from other animal. Brood parasitism is a form of kleptoparasitism. Similarly, the cuckoo wasps also kleptoparasites. They lay their egg in the nests of other wasps like potter wasp and mud wasps. The cuckoo bumblebees, Fig. 23, exhibit true brood parasitism. Their young ones are fed by adult hosts. The queen cuckoo bumblebee kills and replaces the queen of the colony of the host species. It then forces the workers of the host colony to feed their brood. The paper wasp Polistes sulcifer also exhibit true brood parasitism. It has lost its ability to build its own nest and relies on its host P. dominuta to raise its brood. The adult host wasp directly feeds the larva of the parasite. Sometimes the host insect is tricked to bring the larva of the parasite species into its own nest. Example, the parasitic species is a butterfly Phangarus rebeli and the host is ant, Myrmic shinki, interspecific brood parasitism. The butterfly larvae release a chemical that confuse the ant. They treat the larva of butterfly as their own larva, bring them into their nest and feed them. Fig. 21 Paper wasp. Polistes. Fig. 22 Paper nest of Polistes wasp. 70. Fig. 23 Cuckoo bumblebee exhibit brood parasitism. 4.5.1 Benefits of brood parasitism. The benefits of brood parasitism are: I. Brood parasitism relieves the parasitic parent from the investment of rearing of young one. E. It enables the brood parasite to spend more time on other activities like foraging and producing offspring. E. The risk of egg loss is mitigated as the eggs are laid and young ones are reared in the nest of other host. 4.6 Summary. Parental care is a significant behavior adaptation in the life history of several animals including insects. It is any effort of the parent that enhances the survival and fitness of their offspring. The parents, mostly females, provide food to the young ones. Insects show highest diversity with more than 1 million species, but 1% species have developed parental behavior. Selection pressure favors lots of offspring and parental care is limited to species which produce fewer offspring. Most simple form of parental care is when the female attends the eggs until hatching. Parental care can mediate transition from solitary to group 2 family living. It is likely to have 71. Developed as an altruistic trait to enable the parents to better pass on their genes by improving the survival of their offsprings even at the cost of their own energy, food or even future reproductive opportunities. Parental care may be the maternal parental care, care provided by female parent only. It is the most common form of parental care. Paternal care, care provided by male parent only. It is very rare. Biparental care, both male and female parents form long association to rear the offspring to adulthood. It is also rare females make all efforts to prevent desiccation and predation of her eggs. Viviparous female birth of young ones. Example, the cockroach, Diploptera punctate. Oviparous female oviposit at an advanced stage of development, for example, CC fly, Glossina. Brood care is an altruistic trait that has evolved to enhance the fitness and survival of the offsprings. The male and female burying beetle, Nichrophorus spp. Exhibit biparental larval care. Cockroach and burying beetles form family groups. Family group gradually evolved to become eusocial colony organization as in termites, bees, ants and wasps. Brood care has driven the formation of families and social groups in vertebrates. Brood parasitism is a breeding strategy in which the female brood parasite relies on other individuals, the host, to raise their young ones. Thus the female brood parasite frees herself of all parental care by laying her eggs in the host nest. .1 Objective. Students will also be able to make predictions and collect data for their research studies by going through the distinguishing characteristics of the different insect orders and their families. 5.2 Introduction. Insects are present everywhere in the world where life is possible. The ecological importance of insects cannot be underestimated. They form the basal part of the food pyramid and impact our agriculture ecosystems as well as human health. Their extinction can have a cascading effect on the upper levels of the food pyramid, because they have invaded almost all the habitats. They differ widely in their forms, structure and behavior in relation to the mode of life they adapted. They are so abundant that they represent 80% of the animal kingdom. After knowing about the different insects' orders of economic importance, we could gain a better understanding of their role in the web of life, as indicators of environmental quality, as predators of harmful species, and their potential threats to crops, homes and health too. They also help us to learn about human health in many ways. In the present unit, we will discuss about the structure, habit and habitat of different orders along with their families of economic importance. 5.3 Order. Thysanura thrips, thysan-fringed ura tail, bristle-tailed silverfishes, or firebrats, Fig 1 and 2. 76. These are apteris, wingless, insects. These are characterized by ectognathous biting mouthparts having 11 segmented abdomen with lateral styliform progenital segmental appendages, a pair of cerci and a long median caudal filament. Habit and habitat. They are mostly adapted for a concealed life in the soil, rotting wood under stones, in the leaf deposits of forest floors, nests of ant and termites, extremely active, diurnal or nocturnal. They are truly omnivores, usually feed on dead vegetable matter. They usually lay eggs in crevices. The larva undergoes 6 or more instar stages before maturity. They are capable of jumping with agility. Their mating habits are peculiar because when the males drop a spermatophore, the female picks it from the substrate during the mating dance. Distribution. They are cosmopolitan and have about 550 species in the world, while 32 species from 5 families been recorded in India. Structure. Head, prognathous, broadly sessile and very little movable. Antennae are long, filiform and composed of more than 30 segments. Compound eyes are larger or sometimes vestigial or absent. Thorax. Thoracic segment distinct with well-developed peronodal lobes supplied by tracheae. Leg. All are of equal size with a pair of claws. Coxae are large, tarsi are with 2 to 3 segments. Abdomen. Abdomen with 10 complete segments, 11 segment often modified with paired multi-segmented cerci and a median long caudal filament. Each abdominal segment bears a pair of styliform appendages and 1 or 2 median abrutable sacral vesicles. Mouth parts. Ectognathous, biting and chewing, mandible dentate, decondylic, maxillae well developed with distinct galea and laciniae and palpi. 4, 5, 7 segmented, labium well developed, with separate glossa and paraglossa, mentum and submentum with broad plates, prementum often paired. Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is a straight tube with large crop proventriculus, large midgut with diverticula, hindgut coiled, salivary gland well developed. 77. Malpighian tubules, 4 to 8 in number in lepismatids and 12 to 20 in mochilids. Heart. Heart with numerous ostia. External genitalia. The 8th and 9th abdominal segments possess an ovipositor in female and male genitalia in male, while the penis is on the 9th segment. Nervous system. It consists of brain, subesophageal, 3 thoracic and 8 abdominal ganglia. Reproductive system. Testes with 2 to 6 follicles, the vas deferens often long and greatly bicondulated, ductus ejaculatorius short and ends in edagus, ovary with 5 to 7 penoistic ovarioles, sometimes arranged segmentally, the oviducts joined together just before opening in 8th sternum. Ecdysis molting. The Sanarins molts, for more than 41 times, however the sexes are distinguishable after the 8th molt. Figure 1 silverfish, Figure 2 fire brat. 5.3.1 Order Thysanura is divided into two suborders, namely Microcoryphea and Zygentoma. Microcoryphea consists of superfamily, Mochuloidea and family, Mochulidae, while Zygentoma represents the superfamily, Lepismatoidea and family, Lepismatidae. The mochuloids and lepismatoids are generally called as the bristle-tails and the silverfish respectively. The distinguishing features of both the families are mentioned below. 78. 79. Character superfamily, Mochuloidea e.g. Pterobius, Mochulus. Superfamily, Lepismatoidea e.g. silverfish. Body cylindrical, dorsal side greatly reduced. Dorsal side very slightly arched, wider. In the thoracic region. Prothorax smaller than mesothorax, prothorax not narrower but as wide as. Mesothorax maxillary palp composed of 7 segments, composed of 5 segments, eyes large, contiguous, small, separate or absent or often. Represented by few Ommatidae acelli, 3 in number, absent. Mandibles monocondylic, molar and incisor. Areas are distinct. Decondylic molar and incisor areas are confluent. Abdominal. Segment meso and metacoxa. With large plate-like coccytes with styles. Without styles. Styliform appendage. Present on 2 to 9 abdominal segments, present on fewer number on. Abdominal segment Malpighian tubule 12 to 20 in number, 4 to 8 in number, spiracles number 9 pairs, 10 pairs, ovarioles ovary with 7 ovarioles, ovary with 5 ovarioles, testis 6 on each side, without. Receptaculum, seminis and accessory gland. Numerous testes, segmented penis, receptaculum and accessory gland present. Economic importance. Thysanura, despite being placed among Apterygotea, exhibit numerous affinities with pterygotes. The mouth parts are typically of pterygote type with decondylic mandible. The abdominal segmentation, the compound eyes, the antennae and tracheal system are wholly different from those of the Apterygota order and are typically pterygote in character. 5.4 Collembola springtails. Call glue, embola wedge, springtails, fig 3. Collembola are pterygotes with entignathous biting mouthparts, small, wingless arthropods, usually much less than 6 mm long, having 6 segmented abdomen and with a springing apparatus but without compound eye, tracheal system, Malpighian tubule, external genitalia and cerci. Habit and habitat. They are minute soft-bodied apterous springtails occurring under stones, fallen leaves, on snow, sand and in termite nests. They are non-pestiferous but few may harm mushroom greenhouses, cereal crops, sugarcane, etc. Distribution. Collembolans are cosmopolitan in distribution. These is the largest order of Apterygota and are widely distributed with the highest numbers found in organic rich, humid environments, such as soil and leaf litter of forests, and the lowest densities in arid regions. There are about 7,000 described species, however as many as 100,000 species are distributed worldwide. Structure. Body, slightly sclerotized, often covered with setae, scales are tubercles and pigmented. Head, freely movable, acelli occur in variable number, stemata, but only up to 8 on each side. A pair of ring or rosette-like postantennal organ functions is the chemoreceptor. 80. Thorax. Segmentation of trunk is remarkable, 3 thoracic and 6 abdominal segment present in peduridae, while in Smitheridae the abdominal segmentation is completely obliterated. Abdomen. Abdominal appendages comprises of the springing apparatus which includes a ventral tube, a retinaculum and furca. The furca is capable of being bent forward under the abdomen and its sudden backward release jerks the body forward when collembolan jumps. Legs. Similar, but lacks tibio-tarsal joint, pterosaurs with simple or dentate claws and movable empodium. Antennae. Antenna with 3 to 6 segments often modified into claspers in the male and of variable length. Mouth parts. Elongated and sunk in head cavity, piercing, sucking or biting chewing type, mandibles monocondylic, slender with toothed extremities, palpi vestigial. Superlingui well developed, labrum well distinct but labium is degenerated. Alimentary canal. The digestive tract consists of 3 main components, the foregut, midgut, and hindgut. The midgut is surrounded by a network of muscles and lined with a monolayer of columnar or cuboidal cells. Malpighian tubules, wanting or absent, fat body act as an excretory organ. External genitalia, absent, cerci is also absent. Nervous system, with a brain, subesophageal and 3 thoracic ganglia, corpora allata well developed. Reproductive system, testis and ovary are paired but not sac-like, without ovarioles or testicular follicles, without accessory glands. Male or female gonopore is present on 5th abdominal segment. Economic importance. Springtails are the most abundant hexapods and are found as high as 200,000 individuals per square meter. Because of their abundance and ubiquity, they are the vital part of our detritus food web, thus facilitating the breakdown of plant material, nutrient cycling and thus enhancing the 81. Soil fertility and structure. Therefore, they have been used for environmental assessment and habitat change monitoring purposes. Figure 3 Springtail. 5.5 ISO PTERA ISO equal Terra wing TERA. They are soft-bodied, social and polymorphic species composed of sterile worker, soldier, reproductive, queen, and larva, having 2 pair of similar, elongated and membranous, incomplete metamorphosis without external genitalia. Habit and habitat. They are widely distributed in tropics and subtropics, and the semi-arid regions of the world. They live in large communities in underground nest or termitorium or in dry wood. They aerate and can make up to 95% of the soil insect biomass. In addition to wood, termite feed on a variety of cellulose-containing material, fungi and dried animal remains. The digestion of cellulose is carried by a flagellate protozoan, e.g. trichonympha, or bacteria, which are mutualistic inhabitant of the gut. Distribution: termites are found in all continents except Antarctica. The diversity of termite species is low in North America and Europe. They thrive best in warmer climates, e.g. in South America, where over 400 species are known. Structure: body small or medium-sized, pale-colored, weakly sclerotized. Head, movably articulated, prognatous, highly sclerotized, spherical or oval, large and elongated or piriform in soldiers, compound eye well developed in sexual form but 82. Reduced or absent in sterile forms, ocelli are 2 in number, antennae are short, maniliform with 9 to 30 segments. Thorax, prothorax freely movable, narrower than head, rarely enlarged, mesometathorax are more wider than long. Abdomen is broadly jointed to the thorax without constriction. Legs, similar with large and broad coxomeron, long and slender tibia armed without spines, 4 segmented tarsi, peculiar sense organ is present on 4 tibiae. Wings are present only in sexually mature males and females, usually 2 pairs, much larger than the body size, similar, equal, membranous with reduced anal lobe. The nymphs, workers and soldiers lack wings. The sexual forms shed them, leaving inly the scales. Mouth parts. The mouth parts are biting and chewing, contain maxillae, a labium, and a set of mandibles. The maxillae and labium have palps that help termites sense food and handling. Salivary gland are large, racemose type with salivary reservoir. A frontal gland, in head, is highly developed in soldiers for secreting defensive pheromone. Alimentary canal, a coiled tube with well-developed gizzard, esophageal valve, tubular coiled midgut, hindgut differentiated into ileum, colon and rectum. Malpighian tubules, 2 to 8 in number, 2 thoracic and 8 abdominal. External genitalia. External genital organs are lacking in both the sexes. Cerci are short. Nervous system, with brain, subesophageal ganglion, 3 thoracic and 6 abdominal ganglia. Reproductive system. The male reproductive organ developed only in reproductive caste, a pair of testes, simply consisting of 8 to 10 digitate follicle, a pair of vasa deferentia and an ejaculatory duct receiving a pair of seminal vesicles. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of penoistic ovaries, consisting of 30-3,000 ovarioles. Economic importance among isopterans. Only termites exhibit social life. They usually inhabit in the earthen mounds, as high as 3 or 4 meters depending on the species. Few termites build smaller earthen nests in trees while others construct a complex network of subterranean tunnels connecting larger galleries. Wood-dwelling species do not build nests but live within the on. Termites carry cellulose-digesting flagellates protozoa called trichonympha inside 83. Their intestines. They make underground nests called termitorium, in which they maintain constant temperature and humidity. When outside ground they construct intricate overground natural air conditioners called termite hills. As the wind passes through the ventilation galleries of the termite hill, the temperature of the nest drops fast. Although they have rudimentary eyes, they communicate exclusively in the chemical language. This peculiar underground habitat and shy nature has evolved in them due to a large number of predatory animals like giant anteaters, scaly anteaters, spiny anteaters, etc. This peculiar underground habitat and shy nature has evolved in them due to a large number of predatory animals like giant anteaters, scaly anteaters, spiny anteaters, etc., which exclusively live on termite diet and are always looking for them. Figure 4 Termite family. 84. 5.6 PTHIRAPTERA FIG.5. Minute, flattened, apterous, blind bird lice ectoparasites with reduced eyes, 3 to 5 segmented antennae and 1 or 2 segmented tarsi, with terminal claws, with ventral thoracic spiracles but without cerci and ocelli. True lice have simple metamorphosis. The female glues eggs to the hairs or feathers. The immature stages look similar to adults, and they undergoes 3 larval instar stages before entering into the adult stage. Habit and habitat. Lice are parasitic on almost all birds and mammals and are distributed worldwide where their hosts occur. Some species of lice are restricted to just one host species and will often spend their entire life on only particular part of the body. They are found everywhere and in every habitat occupied by birds and mammals. Structure. Head, small dorso-ventrally flattened parasitic insects. Eyes reduced or absent, ocelli absent, antenna 3 to 5 segmented, mouth parts mandibulate or piercing. Obligate permanent ectoparasites of birds and mammals. Mandibulate mouth parts. Legs usually short, stout bearing single or paired protarsal claws. Each leg has a single tarsal segment T with a single curved claws. Abdomen has 11 segments, although 1 or more are always partly or wholly suppressed. Typically 9 segments are visible, the first comprising segment I and 2 are the true segment X and XI are fused segment. Mouth parts. Sucking lice have piercing mouth parts, which they use to suck the blood of the hosts, mostly human. They hang onto hair with a single large claw at the end of their strong legs. The antennae are usually 5 segmented and the thoracic segments are fused. Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is a straight tube with a large crop, large midgut, short hindgut, a pair of enteric ceca. They lack a mouth or an alimentary canal, as they feed by absorbing nutrients from the host's intestine. 85. 86. Malpighian tubules, 4 in number. Heart. The circulatory system is open and contains a dorsal heart. External genitalia. Male external genitalia are highly variable. Nervous system. The brain of Therapterans is U-shaped compact unit which is tilted backwards to cover the tritocerebral commissure, circumesophageal connectives and a large portion of subesophageal ganglion. Reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of paired ovaries, with 5 polytropic ovarioles. The male genital opening is posterior to sternum and consists of a paired vasa deferentia, lateral canals, vesicula seminalis and an ejaculatory duct. Figure 5 Theraptera, lice. The order Phiraptera are divided into the chewing lice, Melophaga, and sucking lice, Anopleura. These insects are wingless parasites. 5.6.1 Suborder. Melophaga, mallow wool.